Allowing Inner Growth, posted on October 9th, 2011. Everything that is born is subject to growth. In fact, life as a dynamic energy movement is always in a forward motion. There is no regression or going back in life. It's always growing forward. As a human being, your body keeps growing or aging in a forward movement. Infancy, childhood, teenage, adulthood are some very general terms which can be used to describe the growth phase of a human. Once you hit adulthood, you keep growing as an adult in maturity, wisdom, intelligence, and character. There is the physical growth of the body, and then there is the mental growth of the mind. The physical growth of the body is mostly inevitable because it happens at a cellular level, though it's quite possible to resist certain physical growth through resistant thoughts. However, the mental growth required to match new or forward realities is what a lot of people tend to resist because of the tendency of the mind to cling to old identities. When you're not in resistance to this transformation or growth, your life seems to keep moving in a dynamic way towards new realities and experiences. But when you're in a place of resistance towards this growth, you start feeling stuck, confused, and out of sorts, and your reality starts feeling conflicted and incongruent. What causes resistance to your inner growth? Different realities require different mindsets. The reality that you lived as an infant or teenager required a far different mindset than which is required to lead an adult life. But a lot of people, their minds, are not willing to let go of the old mindset or self-image, and thus not allowing the growth towards a different mindset required for the new realities and experiences. If you get a feeling that you're being immature, it could well be a wake-up call for you to let go of your old mindset and allow a transformation of your mind towards a new reality. Transformation of your mind would take place on its own accord if you just allow yourself to let go of your old identities, self-image, outlook, and beliefs that you know are no longer congruent with the type of reality you wish to experience. You literally need to just let go of them and allow the new mindset to come in. A lot of people tend to carry their childhood identity throughout their entire life and thus resist a lot of growth and expansion which was their due, and thus feel stuck and unsuccessful throughout. Your childhood identity was present and useful when you were a child. Your teenage identity was useful as a teenager. But these identities will be totally incongruent in you as an adult. And yet it's so common to see people carry their child identities in them and try to negotiate their adult life through this old self-image and mindset. Are you holding back on your growth? See if you can identify with any of these patterns below. In your dreams, you appear mostly as an adolescent boy or girl who feels helpless or scared. You feel scared or insecure and out of place in the company of adults in general. You constantly get a feeling that you're not as mature as you wish to be. You're referred to as being immature by people around you. You wish to experience certain realities, but your mind feels a lot of fear about it, similar to a child who is afraid of the dark. You have phobias in you that don't feel normal to you as an adult. You are intensely scared of standing on your own shoes and dealing with some practicalities of adult life that you know are inevitable for the reality you wish to experience. You constantly feel like a child within, rather than feeling like a mature adult. You're constantly looking for emotional support from outside, rather than having the maturity to find your own support within. You see yourself throwing tantrums for small issues and being difficult in order to seek attention. These are just some small pointers to help you identify the child identity within you that may still be holding a major portion of your human consciousness in spite of you being an adult physically. To have the positives of a childlike being passionate, enthusiastic, heart-oriented, and aligned with love are of essence because these positives are aligned with your true nature. But to carry on holding to the negatives of a child phase, like being dependent, emotionally immature, overly anxious and unstable, are patterns that will constantly resist your expansion towards newer realities that you wish to experience. Growth happens as soon as you allow it. You don't have to work through physical action towards gaining maturity. You can simply allow the maturity to come in by bringing in a deep awareness to patterns in you that no longer feel congruent to who you've become or who you want to become. A deep awareness of the incongruent mindset, self-image, and identity structure is enough to start a transformation that creates an inner growth. Awareness automatically implies that there is a level of disidentification now, and this brings in the space for a new intelligence to work and for a new programming to come through from this movement of your life force. The genetics present in a human undergoes a change whenever he or she allows a transformation or inner growth in their mindset. This causes the creation of a human who is more evolved than the genetic pool he or she came from. You are not limited by your old genes. You are not limited by the programming you inherited from your culture or society. You are not limited by your upbringing. Neither are you limited by age, intelligence, or resources. The only thing that will ever limit you is your inability to allow an inner transformation to take place by letting go of identification with old identities which are no longer congruent with the new realities you wish to experience.